All right, y'all. I'm pretty sure y'all have heard all the news about the fights and everything that happened this weekend. But
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm about to start with? Max. Max. I don't know why he hasn't changed his name to I can't Mad Max. Like that should be a thing.
Because he's blessed, man. It's the Blessed Express, bro.
I mean,
Gotta
yeah.
let that one rock
I
out.
just I just think that nickname is corny, but I mean, I'm with the Bless Express. It's all good.
I'm with it too. I'm with it too. All right, so I everyone we know everyone was going crazy because the striking display was absolutely insane. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate just a tad bit and say that do you think this only happened with the level of competition? Cat is not scrub at all, but is that something to think about?
I think it's the same of what everybody was saying leading up to the fight. Like, you feel bad for whoever Max Holloway is gonna fight next because it's like, bro, in my opinion, he got cheated 2 fights in a row. That's for a belt.
Our
You
opinion.
know what I'm saying? Like, to me, Max Holloway is still the champ.
He's still the
Still the
best
best
featherweight.
featherweight,
Yeah, it's
without a doubt.
two fights cannot erase him being the best featherweight that we have grown up and seen him watching.
Right.
I don't think nobody
Especially
said
when
that.
it's 2 fights that everybody's like,
Exactly.
you
If
know.
you didn't finish me, no.
Well, not even finish him. It's the fact that it's you got beat for 3 straight rounds, and then because some magic with the scoring where takedowns weigh so much, and I don't really get it. You
Yeah.
have Volkanovski getting 2 wins based off of, hey, let me just throw my body into you for 2 rounds and rack up on takedowns
And not do anything while
and
I'm on
not
the
do
ground.
anything. Right.
Right,
So
and yeah,
no,
that
I get
magic
it.
pixel wrestling with the point is coming. That's what I'm gonna call it, the magic pixel, because that was invisible at the
Magic
point.
Pixel.
Yeah, and then it just happened. Like, oh, we're just gonna edge it. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, honestly, like to me, I think the UFC just kind of got tired of the dominance, in my opinion.
With Max.
Yeah, I think they got tired of the dominance. That's
I don't
Yeah,
see
but I
why
don't.
they
I don't
would
think
though.
the UFC could have anything to do with that because of the judges come from the
that's true.
commission.
That's true.
You know,
Yeah.
That's
that
true.
doesn't
That's
really
true.
have anything to
That's
do
true.
with this. So I think it's you have a lot of striking and boxing style of judges from those style disciplines,
Right.
whether it be kickboxing, Muay Thai, boxing, et cetera, that are judging MMA, and just know that takedowns are good, but don't know what a takedown is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean,
Or they know what a takedown is, but we haven't established a good formula for you know. Now we're seeing takedowns just to score a point, just to be
Yeah.
like, "Hey, I took you down," and it's
yeah.
like, well, are we doing this? Like, do wrestling rules apply? Like,
Which
you
if
know,
that's the
you,
case, then we should.
you know what I'm saying? Should you have separate scoring for striking and then have a separate scoring log for wrestling and then have that accumulated? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
No, that makes sense. Oh, and just to not backtrack on my, but more so elaborate on my what I said about the UFC. Not particularly UFC because, like you said, these are sanctioned with different states, but they have to work with the UFC. I think a lot of judges are just
yeah,
would start to get tired of like, which is I can't get enough, but start to get tired of. Max just throwing hands, the exchanges and stuff like that, and they want to see people win in different
yeah,
ways. So that's kind of what I was. That's kind of what I was aiming for. What I meant to say.
yeah.
So I just wanted to clear that up.
Well, I mean, well, yeah, that could be a thing, but if you're gonna go based off of we want to see something different, then you gotta also include the fact that you're gonna have takedown defense as well. So that needs to be scored as well. Like
That
Yeah, but
does.
it's like now we're getting back into the whole scoring conversation,
Yep.
yeah,
and it's just that's so confusing. But I think I'm not saying dismantle the whole scoring thing or scoring in general needs to change completely. It's just some people just don't need to be judges. Like Adelaide
yeah,
Burke,
Yeah.
she
yeah,
just
that's
doesn't need
true.
to be an MMA judge. She doesn't know what she's on.
I agree. I agree.
You know.
I
Um,
agree. So, I
but
mean,
as far as Max, I mean, yeah, Max was incredible,
yeah,
Max is
and
definitely better.
I
it's
think with Max, because Max is a big guy for at that weight.
Yeah,
He's
but
been doing this a long time, and I think a lot of it put so much punishment on him. And I think that him just changing up his method of how he's trains and prepares for fight, like Brad was elaborating before we went live. I think he learned to rest his body and have his body kind of flow into the fight instead of like, I go to a camp, I grind it out, punish myself, and then it's like, what do you have in the gas tank for the fight?
Yeah, I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, and that's a real thing. That's always been something in like the fight community that was like always hard to gauge, because but the difference with Max is like you said in the previous episodes, Max grew up in the UFC. So it's like at that point, it's not really more so we're grinding out. We need to get you to a certain point. It's like we already have the game plan. We know what we do. It's more so fine tuning to make sure these are certain things we pinpoint. But you're smart enough. You fought long enough to be able to change on the flow, do whatever you need to do. There's not really too much need for sparring. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, he's typically the bigger guy. So it's not like, oh, we're going against like a shorter guy. We need to bring a shorter guy in. We need a taller guy in. You're pretty much the dominant person as far as height and length wise, and that's kind of his forte. So Max is a special situation, but I mean, I still agree. There's a lot of trauma that goes in that sparring.
Not only that, but it's just like, aside from not sparring, Max definitely did his mental homework this time. As far as Max knows that every fight he's known as the slow starter. Mm-hmm. So he knows that if I let my punches fly from the moment the fight starts, I'm gonna have basically the lead in this fight, and that's exactly what he did. He did the mental homework. He went in there with the game plan and knew exactly what he needed to do, and punished Calvin Kattar for it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just, to be honest, they're not in the same class.
That's why I brought
it he was calling Max the freshman. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, it's not. Nah.
And he said the freshman came to play.
Called him a freshman.
You didn't hear that?
I did not hear about that one.
Yeah, he literally, like, I think it was like the last round. He looked at DC and was like, the freshman came to play, and then like he looked over. Calvin like punched at him, dodged it, dipped under. Like the freshman came to play, and then like punched him again. I'm like, oh my god.
No, I mean I saw that, but I didn't understand like the background of it.
I believe that's what he was saying. He was saying the freshman came to play. He said something along those lines.
Oh, that was amazing. That was amazing. That like Chad said, it's a whole different class. All
right, if we just start going through Max Holloway and just how high class he is. You got 2 against Jose. Okay?
Right.
Former champ. One of the greatest champs the UFC has ever seen.
Right.
He's got 2 of them against him.
2 against Dustin.
He's got 2 against Dustin.
Yep.
He's got one against Anthony Pettis.
Yep.
He's got a loss to Conor. You know what I'm saying? He's beat Cub Swanson. He beat the brakes off of Brian Ortega.
Oh my god!
Who's about to fight for a title, mind you?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude is good. He's got one against Frankie Edgar. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, yeah, okay. You lost one in a decision to Dustin. Okay. And then you got the losses to Volkan. To Volkanovski.
Right.
But it's like at the end of the day, this dude is one of the best fighters the UFC's ever seen. Like, period. And a lot of those losses are very, very close, very, very questionable. Nobody's ever been like, yo, I've outclassed Max Holloway completely, except for maybe Conor.
And he's never been knocked out in the UFC.
Right. And on top of that, since he grew up in the UFC, he caught everyone in almost their primes. There is no discussion about when he was at his prime and who he was fighting. Oh, were they early? Were they peak? No, like he fought them. I
think if Max, if this is the Max that we're always gonna see, and he still has it because he's young.
Yeah,
young legend.
Well, he's gonna have to do a lot. He's going to have to do a lot to do it. But what I'm seeing from Max is Max knows that he has the potential to be in that conversation, right? Mm-hmm. Even though he has a lot of losses. Mm-hmm. But say Max does, he gets that belt back. And say Max does say, hey, you know what? I come across Connor again and beat him. Or I come across Dustin again. Or I come across a Khabib. That's why he's putting himself, he's like, no, I'm staying on this island because this is an opportunity. Like, we're here now.
Right.
This is a time to shine now.
Yeah.
Could you see Max as a two belt champ?
I would like to see it. I can see it. The only reason why I'm kind of even iffy on that is because before it gets Dustin, that power was looking lacking.
He also had a slow start in that fight.
That's
the
true.
Second fight they had.
That's true.
A slow start because once the fight continued,
yeah,
Max almost finished Dustin twice.
But there's also something we failed to mention, Brad, is that the reason why he starts slow is because the problem was his tank. Usually third round, if you watch Max and Lap, like third round he starts to fade. But this one, Katter, he put the foot on the gas, and it was all 5 rounds. So this is something we kind of.
This is a whole new Max.
Yeah,
this is a new Max.
Yeah,
it's Mad Max.
That's what I'm saying. That's Mad Max. We got.
That's really what it is.
We all love Blessed Max, but Mad Max. That's a bad man.
Yeah, I think Max is on his second win, and I think he's going to get the belt back. Mm-hmm. Now, who he gets the belt back from should be an interesting question because you have Volkanovski versus Ortega lined up. And listen, I will say this to Volkanovski. If you think you're going to come in there with the same game plan that you had against Max Holloway, bro, you are setting yourself up. They call this man T-City for a reason. If you try to go to that wrestling bullshit, you gonna be in trouble because he gonna let you.
Yeah. I say, and T-City was looking like a whole new man when he fought against Korean Zombie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He looked like he was ready to bang and he was gonna hit you with some nasty stuff. Yeah. And listen, I really don't understand why Alexander Volkanovski has the belt now. Like I really just don't get it.
I mean, he won. That's the thing about it. He capitalized. He capitalized on the opportunity, and he's riding with it.
But
he's not a scrub. He's not a scrub. As much as
he's not a scrub, and it took a lot of mental fortitude and IQ to switch your game plan mid-fight to kind of game the system to get those wins.
Without a doubt.
Don't get me wrong, but Max came out there and just scored 3 10-8 rounds without knocking somebody down. Just think about that.
That's crazy.
And that was 3 10-8 rounds or 2 10-8 rounds on all the judges' cards. A lot of people had it 3 10-8 rounds. If you go on Verdict, shout out to Verdict app, everybody scored a 10-8 every single round. I don't think that's ever been done. And damn sure nobody's ever landed 440 significant strikes on another human being in a 5-round fight. Oh, my bad. Just throw 5 in there to spice it up a little bit on top. You know what I'm saying? Just, 445 significant strikes.
In round 4. In round 4 alone, 141 significant strikes.
Yeah. Now, I will say this, though. He was taking some shots.
No, he definitely was taking some shots. Definitely took some shots.
That's the only thing that scares me about Max is, like, we don't really know what Max's health is like. Like, he's always had ups and downs. Always have ups and downs, and he is taking a lot of headshots.
Yeah, he is.
Yes,
he talked about protecting your brain. He said that in the post fight.
You know why he said that though, right?
Why?
Because Caters, come on, bro. You've lost 3 rounds where it's like 10-8 you've lost, and now we're going in the 4th round, and I beat the out of you in the 4th round. Bro, you can't win this fight, bro. Like, you can keep, like, I understand go out on your shield, but, bro, I just punched you in the head significantly 440 times. You have taken as much damage as some fighters take in 5 or 6 fights.
Yeah.
Significant strikes.
That's insane.
And he didn't even like shell up either. Ooh. Like he bit on his mouthpiece and kept going. I'm like, bro, that's dangerous.
and that's where he was talking about, hey, young fighters, like, protect your brain. Like, yeah, Calvin Kattar isn't a young fighter. He's got a lot of experience, but it's like, hey, bro, you're up here fighting me.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, bro. Like, it's okay, bro.
He said it's okay, bro. I get it.
He's not going to be the same again. Let's go ahead and say that he's not.
I think Calvin Kattar will be fine for the most part, but that is you just put a lot of mileage on your body and a
You
lot.
did. You did. You did. And you're not even. And you're not. And what? You're ranked number 6.
Yeah, rank
Yeah, you
6.
kind of got a lot of fight left in you, at least by UFC standards. Like this is, I'm not saying be a bitch by any means. Excuse my language, but like, nah, bro, you gotta alter some things, man. At least go back
If
to
he
counter
fights again,
striking.
if he fights again this year, it won't be to like maybe like October.
So
Yeah.
he went up and fought number 1 contender
Okay.
and got dogged,
Okay.
right? And it's like, why do you take all of that punishment being at 6? You still got Korean Zombie there. You still got Yadier Rodriguez, which I think
Well, he's suspended though, isn't he?
Rodriguez, yeah, he's suspended
2 years, right?
Oh, he might be 2 years. So why didn't they update the rankings? Anyway, get him out of there.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Keep beating them up.
What about Zabit?
I mean, you got a lot of people there, and it's like, what are you gonna do? You know, like I'm sitting there thinking, like, hey, all right, I took this L. I'm Calvin Kattar. You're gonna fight Sadiq Youssef next. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's dangerous.
That's still dangerous.
You know,
Yeah.
or you're gonna fight a Jeremy Stevens next, and it's like, hey, bro, you got to think about this long term. And I think that's what Max Holloway was kind of alluding to. Like, hey, bro, like you make your money over longevity in this sport, not that quick rise, that quick meteoric rise, and then you get destroyed, and then what happens? And then you're a shell of yourself.
Unless you're Connor.
Well, Conor ended a lot of his fights pretty quickly. Like, if you really think about it, Conor hasn't gotten in a lot of wars. Usually, he's the one dropping the bombs.
Connor's been in 2 wars that come to the top of my head. You know, or technically 3 is Diaz twice.
Yeah.
What's the third one?
And then Mendez,
that was crazy.
That was great.
I feel sorry for the people that didn't catch that one. Like, oh my gosh, that was a thriller.
That was a war.
Yeah.
That was good too.
And so speaking of Conor,
here we go.
Going into this next card.
Here we go.
Conor fighting somebody who he's already beaten before.
Right.
Which I think is why Max even brought up, like, hey, if you need me to step in, because it's like, hey, bro, I've done fought both of these dudes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got my camp. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just got my camp.
Right.
Like,
That's true.
It's a very weird situation coming up. I mean, you have this card. Was it 257? Is the card?
Yeah.
Yep.
I believe so.
Conor versus Dustin Poirier, and then you have Dan Hooker versus Mike Chandler.
Yep.
Man.
And this is to basically decide who is not, whether or not somebody's going to fight Khabib. And I do not like what Khabib has done with this whole thing, because it's like, I think Khabib is there to try and pull some BS like, hey, if Dustin Poirier beats Conor, then, I walk in the ring, I'm going to hand Dustin Poirier the belt, kind of like a F you to Conor.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to hold the belt, even though I'm technically retired. I'm going to hold the belt because I do not want to be the one to hand Conor the belt. I'll fight Conor again.
Yeah.
And it's some real spiteful, like, personal vendetta shit that get going on between them, when at the end of the day, I don't think it's that serious. And I think it's kind of weaselly just how Khabib has always operated with a lot of this.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I agree. I mean, and then that's an angle to look at it. Also, I just think that he's just kind of like, definitely, without a doubt, holding the vision. But he's kind of playing keep away from the belt. I mean, from Conor. So, like Chad mentioned that, like, I'll fight him, because he could go the opposite way and just be like, okay, I'll fight a lesser fighter again. Hopefully, one of these guys win. And if Conor wins, I'm just gonna be like, nope, I'm not fighting. I left on top. That's really it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, or he could just say, if Conor wins, I'm not going to fight you. I'll fight Oliveira.
That's not. Yeah. Either way, I honestly don't think he's fighting Conor again.
They're at the end of the way. It's such a dumb situation, and I think like just the fact that Dana is sitting there like begging Khabib, like why would you even give him all that power? Like, all right, bro, you retired. All right, cool. Give me the belt.
Yeah, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do it to you. You do it to yourself. Um.
It's that money grab for Dana though.
Well, there's a lot more backdoor politics going on
It is.
with this. You know. A lot of there's a reason why we done seen a lot of these boys from like Dagestan, Chechnya, Russia come into the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
They got a lot of money behind them,
Yep.
and that money is not always from the most kosher of places. Even
That's true.
Israel Adesanya said it last time he fought. Like a lot of these dudes is gangsters. Like a lot of these dudes are mafia dudes. Like they come in here because they know, hey, some backdoor deal has been done with my organization of people, this, that, and the other, that I'll come in and fight. It don't matter if I make weight, don't make weight, et cetera, et cetera. I just got to put the fight on, and then we keep it moving. And I think Khabib is starting to play into that game of like, yeah, I keep everybody on hold, this, that, and the other, to try and drive it up.
Yeah, I mean, he did just buy a whole promotion. Right?
Yeah.
Like this all plays into that. And he knows that no matter what, at the end of the day, that time is ticking because that year you can lay off for that year to hold that belt. You only got so long, so you need to say something. And I think he's doing that. I think that's a good point, Chad, and I absolutely agree. I think he's playing it from that angle, which is smart. I don't like it, but it's smart. You know.
It's soft because I think Khabib knows what we all know. Like, okay, yeah, we saw Gaethje dominant performance against Ferguson, and then Gaethje goes in there with Khabib and looks like a shell of himself.
Throw the fight, yeah.
Yeah, but come on, man.
Do we think that he really threw the fight?
I'm telling you he did.
What?
I'm telling you he did.
We haven't heard shit from him since.
Nah, bro. I mean,
You're a poor kid from Arizona.
I mean, right, and especially if you get.
I'm not gonna put that out there. That's conspiracy stuff. I'm not even gonna put that.
We can stick to facts. We can stick to facts.
Looks like a shell of himself, right? Looks like a shell of himself against Khabib. Khabib gets a win. Yes, Khabib is good, but the only person that ever went around against Khabib was Conor.
Well, they said Gaethje did too.
Well, if Gaethje did too, then okay, then Gaethje's in that. But like Conor said in his interview, I fought the best of him that night, and he fought the worst of me. And I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Well, everyone besides Khabib fans.
Yeah, you know they're not having it. Super fans, fanatics,
and if you go and you look at their striking compilations of that fight, that show how Conor was piecing Khabib up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially what was like that third round, I think.
Yeah,
was it the third round?
Third round.
And this is piecing Khabib up while coming off of I just made $100 million off of a fight with Floyd Mayweather, in which I fought 10 rounds and basically outlasted a lot of professional boxers against Floyd Mayweather.
I mean, by Floyd allowing that to let that roll.
Well, yeah.
Let's just still be real about that. But
yeah, but still a somewhat decent performance against the best boxer of all time for the most part in the modern era. And then you basically got all of this legal back and forth stuff, this, that, and the other for nearly a year and a half. You're obviously not training. You obviously drinking and partying and doing all this other stuff. And everybody talks about John Jones. I think John Jones was wild, but I think Conor is 10 times more wild. It's just Conor knows not how to get caught.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that.
Okay. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that last part.
Oh, yeah, there's a difference between, you know what I'm saying, partying and getting caught partying and nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think Conor has a lot of that because outside of, like, the main headline stuff that pops up, I mean, we don't know what Conor is up to, but I know Conor is always where it's at.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Because we see it. Yeah, and we know Conor likes to have a good time.
That's very true.
You know what I'm saying? So now with a more serious Conor, I think Khabib understands, like, hey, we may have dodged the bullet. Like,
Yeah.
what is this? He is the first champ to be like, hey, I've already fought him, beat him. I don't want to fight him no more. Like, that's not how the game goes, my guy.
Yeah, you run it back. You assert,
Yeah.
you assert down. I don't think there's a lot of champs that haven't ran things back besides him and Conor, but we all know Conor was just out to get money, so he eventually
With multiple people, though. But Conor ran it back with Diaz.
Yep.
And that wasn't even for the belt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
you were real.
It's kind of crazy, though, because Khabib's doing that, and he's the champion, right? And he says that he's the best. Floyd, I'm moving on to box for just a second. Floyd says he's the best, but has ran it back with people.
Yeah, because that's what you do as a champ. That's what you do as a champ. I am sitting here.
But I said Floyd for a reason, and I think you know why I said Floyd.
Yeah.
So it's just
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like,
at the end of the day, we look at every single champ there's ever been, and it's always been like, hey, there's a possibility that I'm going to fight guys twice in my career.
Yeah.
Look at Max Holloway. I'm going to fight guys twice in my career.
3 times if I can.
Yeah. Conor, like, yo, that Diaz trilogy is still on the table.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He talked about it.
I'm fighting Dustin Poirier for a second time.
Yep. That's part of it.
I think it is disrespectful to the game and to the sport for Khabib to come in there and be like, oh, I beat you once, this, that, and the other, and I'm going, all right.
I mean, that's
like, who are you? Like, who are you to come in here and just try to dominate this? And you don't have that many fights in the UFC.
And that's what I'm saying. And that's the thing, too. Yeah, they run that record.
At least like 8 or 10 of your fights are padded, but
like I hate everybody to 29-0 or 20 whatever and and this, that, and the other, but you got like 18 fights outside of the promotion.
Exactly.
Like that don't fly in my book when you got people like Max Holloway.
Yes.
Because let's face it, I'm gonna go out and say it. Anywhere from lightweight and up, the UFC is the best promotion there is, where all the best talent is fighting at. There is no other body even close, unless you start to get into lower weights, where now you're talking about like one championship and stuff like that. Just because you have a wider pool to pull from people in the sport, just because smaller stature people in Asia, like that's just how it is.
Yep.
Okay. Other than that, you're getting the best in the UFC. So somebody like Max, I fought people multiple times over and over and over again, and I'm 22-6 or 23-6, whatever he is more impressive to me than going into Khabib.
That's true.
When you got 18-some fights in another promotion that does not have the talent anywhere close to the UFC. You know what I'm saying? And using a technique that's not really seen in the UFC that makes you an oddball, and then now you're using a technique that we've seen people use to game the scoring system.
Right.
But also you should talk about those early fights in the other promotion that were padded fights.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he got warm-up fights. That's what I'm so glad you touched on that 29-30-0 undefeated record, because he like most 90% of those fights were out of the promotion. And then it's like you can go through the thing that Khabib finished everyone, right? You finished everyone and stuff like that. But also, if you have done any wrestling or any jiu-jitsu or any groundwork, sometimes those tap outs is not. I'm not gonna say it's not convincing, but you can get caught. You can be dominating. You can be pressed. You can be caught, and that's just really it. I mean, so. Will I say that I'm not gonna say that winning by ground game is not a dominant. You can't do a dominate thing, because some people just put on absolute clinics. But to me, in that one, I seen a winded Conor. Like we said, they was already partying, something being confirmed, and at that point in time, that a stamina loss is way different than actually getting beat.
He was drunk the night before the fight.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah. And if we're getting technically nobody's had the belt.
Yeah.
He said that.
Yeah.
Technically nobody's had that belt. That belt's still open as a month.
No, Conor said technically he's still champion because the belt was never handed.
Khabib never got his hand raised, never got that belt.
Exactly. Right. So Conor was like, technically I am still champion. And I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that Conor was absolutely admitted that I'm liking now Conor absolutely admitting that as far as his faults and stuff like that about the Khabib thing, because that energy did a lot for me.
Yeah, I just need Khabib himself to be more forthcoming on what he wants.
Right.
And that's what I don't like, is that he's not if Conor was predicting for years before it even happened, I might have to go wake up Floyd Mayweather. And at that point, we all knew what that was. Hey, bro, you're hey, I'm at the height of my game, trying to get this money, bro.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. He said he's there for the money. He said it in the beginning, too.
Yeah, and so with Khabib, he's I want something big or interesting, this and the other.
What you want?
Don't act like you weren't kind of fearful about Tony Ferguson that y'all tried to make happen 5 times. And then you got DuBronx that just comes in there and destroys Ferguson. You should be hey, I got a fight coming up.
Yeah, that's real. That's it.
Are you retired or you not retired or you stolen? Because if you're stalling like that, saying, "Oh, I'm retired," and you retire holding a belt on some bullshit like that, now we gonna start treating you like how they was treating Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no stalling in this game, Brody.
Yeah,
there's no stalling, and it's just the fact that he's sitting there trying to hold the entire promotion hostage because he's quote unquote the big guy right now. And I think because it's a lot of backdoor money is why he's the big guy right now.
Mm-hmm. I do think this is Dana's last. I think that was his last time to try. I don't think.
Oh, with Khabib?
Yeah.
To be honest with you, fuck him.
Yeah.
How big of a star is Khabib? Other than to launch you in the Arab world, technically, just because he's Muslim. Mm-hmm. What does he do for you?
Not much.
What does he do for you? He doesn't do anything for you.
Nothing.
He's not a good star. Nobody really likes him at the end of the day. Khabib fans are the same people that like Tom Brady because they're addicted to dominance.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing what attracts me to you. I put Khabib fans in the same place that I put Usman fans. What is attractive about him? His fighting style, Khabib's fighting style is boring. Kamaru Usman's fighting style is boring. Your personality is cringeworthy. Your behavior at times is cringeworthy. You're not a good star. You're not a star. You're not here to make money off of entertainment value. It's just you're dominant, and that's about it. Congratulations. So if you say, "Hey, I wanna leave this, that, and the other," then leave. Because the only fight that sells is you fighting Conor, and we about to find that out right now.
Well, I'm be a little bit different with Usman. Because I'm not. No. But there's lining factors of what he said. One, Usman is attaching himself with Adesanya. Remember that they talk as a unit. So that's where he's getting his promotion too. Usman's not stupid.
But I'm talking about Usman by himself. Usman by himself is not a sell.
He's not. He's really not.
He's not.
Kamaru Usman's gonna fight Gilbert Burns. Who? We know who it is, and we know about it and how good of a fight that is. Not to take anything away from those two.
I'm excited about Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling, but hey,
right. But if we are trying to sell personality in order to grow the sport for entertainment value, to bring in more people that are not really that much, nobody's lining up on the block to say, "Yo, you watching that Khabib Nurmagomedov fight?" It's not. No, because it's not a good sell.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's I don't have any problem with you know what I'm saying, with you not being that type of personality. But at the end of the day, don't think you have some type of leverage.
Yeah, besides winning. I get that.
Yeah.
Besides winning.
Because that leverage is not good for business. That leverage is because you want to be spiteful to Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
For sure.
And that's why I was just kind of putting that like that difference between him and Usman. Because I really honestly believe Usman will run things back, and I believe that Usman will fight without trying to be, I mean, I guess petty, right? Khabib is actually being petty. That is the part I don't like. Dominance is cool. I don't mind dominance. I actually like dominance, but it's also like what comes with that is the things around and how you manipulate with it. That's really it.
It's petty, and you have a history of trying to short the system.
Yeah.
Whether it be through weight cuts or fight schedules or locations or just you have a history of this.
Sounds like it's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm starting laughing. I'm just like,
yeah, no, it is.
He's right.
And Khabib might be a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he might be a cool dude outside of the sport, you know. But at the end of the day, how you're conducting yourself
is number one
with a sense of like, I guess if you want to say entitlement.
Yeah.
Over.
I can't stand
entitlement because you're talking about 29-0 or 20 whatever and 0. Against who? Like, okay, you beat Gaethje, you beat Poirier, you beat Conor. Like, you beat the names to put you in the position of where you're at. But so have all those other guys.
Yeah, so that's the same thing all champions have done. Now, this is where you start to build on your legacy. Right. So, I don't know, man.
And people want to put him in the GOAT spot before they put John Jones there. All right, I got it.
Oh, no, they're tripping. And whoever watches this, if you think that's the case, y'all tripping. Y'all crazy. Y'all
he doesn't even deserve the pound for pound. But that's just me.
Nah, he doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, that's just really it, in my opinion. That's just really it. I mean,
definitely don't.
Yes.
I know if Izzy comes up and beats Jan, he's pound for pound right now.
Yeah. It better not be any. Yeah, that's just it.
It's nobody else.
It isn't.
It's nobody else. Nobody even close.
It isn't.
But Polish power gonna knock out Izzy.
As you realize this is not the audio one, right? Like we can see your face, we can see how you interact.
I know.
You couldn't even say that with confidence.
Right? You were looking down the whole time.
You couldn't even say that with confidence.
All right, look, but what if he does? What if he?
No, it's not a what if. You said he will.
But what if he does?
Now you're backtracking.
What if he knocks out Izzy?
That just makes things a lot more interesting. In my opinion,
I like it more. I like it more if he knocks out Izzy. That's just me.
I mean, okay, so
if he knocks out Izzy, then it's like, okay, cool. Just light heavyweight stuff is a big jump for me. All right, I'll go back and defend my belt at middleweight, then John Jones is at heavyweight, and we go our separate ways. And Jan continues to, fight in the boring light heavyweight division.
Yeah, he's gonna come right back and just win it again.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, I just want to touch on one thing. And Chad, I don't know how you didn't bring this up.
What?
I'm so glad the hype for Joaquin Buckley was destroyed. I'm so glad.
Well, there's some nuance to that. I do not want to say that it is complete. How do I put this? Complete, like just hype with nothing behind it with Joaquin Buckley. Joaquin Buckley is very talented, and he definitely does have all the tools to be successful in the UFC. Okay, he got caught, just like he's been caught by so many other people, because he's young, he's inexperienced, and for me, if Joaquin wants to advance, like. Joaquin got all that hype around that knockout and then knocked out another guy right behind it who really wasn't anybody, but most of those fights other than the Jordan, what's his name fight, where he just beat him up. Other than that, he doesn't really have any good performances. Yes, he's knocked guys out, but leading up to those knockouts, they weren't good performances. Right. And so my issue with Joaquin Buckley is, bro, you need to start training with other people. You're the best dude in your gym. And this is where you're at. And see, when you get that much hype around you like he did off of that kick, which is why when we talked about like, oh, best knockout of the year, like, don't do that. Don't do that. Everybody was so, oohs and ahs because he did some spinning jump kick. That was not planned. There was nothing that was pure instinct. Like, oh my God, he just caught my foot, and I have seen what happens to people when they get their foot caught.
Right.
In UFC.
I'm about to say because he ran away from him.
And it was disparity. It was like, let me kick away from you to run, because that's why he ran away after him, and he didn't even know he knocked him out.
That's true.
So with Joaquin, that's not a critique of like, oh, the hype train, he sucks. I don't think Joaquin Buckley sucks. I think one, he's very inexperienced.
Yep,
Two,
I agree.
does not have a great martial arts background, because he does not look like a martial artist. He looks like a dude that was super athletic his entire life and was like, yo, this MMA shit's cool. And you can get a long way in martial arts just off brute strength until you get to the big leagues.
Yep, that's true.
Every single jiu-jitsu gym across the country is like that. You got white belts and blue belts full of wrestlers and guys that are pretty strong, athletic, this, that, and the other, until they start getting into high blue belts and then into, rolling with purple belts. It's like, oh, there's a lot of technique in this thing.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with the UFC is there's a lot of technique and there's a lot of skill and work that needs to be put in, and you can't just go head first, brute force into everything, because then you get kicked in the head, you get clipped, and you get knocked out.
Yep, that's it. That's exactly what it is.
That's Joaquin Buckley in a nutshell.
I mean, my thing is, as far as him being the best person in the camp, I don't really have a problem with that, but now it's up to your camp to have you get challenged, right? That's the thing, too. Like, granted, in my opinion, I prefer him to go to a different camp at this point, because I feel like he made a gap. But I'm also a loyalist as well, and if you're going to be loyal to your camp also is there to help prepare you and get you to that next level.
You can be loyal to your camp, right?
Right.
But if your camp is not progressing with you, then you got to do it. Like,
yeah, that's what
I'm not saying go ahead and pull a Dillashaw. Like, I'm not saying do that. I'm not saying pull a TJ, where it's like, yo, I got world-class fighters that have trained me and kind of like grew me under their wing, and then it's like, hey, yo, I'm out of here. Like, Joaquin Buckley is probably the best dude where he trains. Mm-hmm. All that hype around him, you feel like you're the man. You got to utilize your resources. You're fighting out of St. Louis. You act like it's going to be hard for you to get in touch with Michael Chandler or Ben Askren or Tyron Woodley or all of these people that are similar builds and backgrounds to you.
Yeah. And I agree. And that's what I said. I agree that, this is something that happens.
If I'm Joaquin Buckley, I need to go back and look at, what happened with Kevin Holland? What happened with this fight? What am I doing that is putting me in compromised positions?
That's true.
Because every single fight we see Joaquin Buckley in a compromised position that's like, yo, you're in trouble, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and it ends the same exact way.
Yeah, I think he provide. I think it's sometimes a little bit more aggression with something that's going to have to be trained out of you, because you will be humble and lose like this all the time. Even with the Kevin Holland fight, he was in that fight.
Yeah, in that fight. And then he got put away.
Yeah, eventually, and then Kevin, and without a doubt, honestly, that first, maybe was this the second round when he started turning out?
First round. I would say only the first round.
That's what I'm saying. Well, no, I'm saying Buckley was throwing him with him, and then remember that's when Kevin went to the corner and said, "Nah, I can throw with him." Like, they're like, "Oh, do wrestling." He's like, "Nah, I can throw with him, and I can do this." And Buckley hung in there for a little bit after that. But you gotta learn when people shift, man. You gotta learn when people switch. You gotta learn rhythm when you're fighting with somebody. If you keep on pressing forward, especially if Kevin Holland already knows that, all right, I figured out what's going to happen, and they start to implement those things, you have to switch something. Your aggressive not going to keep on happening. Like, yeah, you was able to throw punches. Yeah, you were strong. Yeah, you seen some. So you was able to hurt Kevin. But when he comes in there and starts doing switches and things change, you need to change.
Yep. And I'll put everything in perspective for you. Joaquin Buckley is not big.
He's not.
He looks big on TV. He's 5'8", 185. He's about the same dimensions as me. I'm a little bit bigger than he is.
I'm about to say,
so
yeah.
On screen, he.
Wow, that's true.
So at this point, if you're in this middleweight class, you got such close proximity to. And you've been in so many promotions. You've been in Bellator. You've been in Legacy Fight at LFA.
Yeah.
reach out, bro. Because where are you? You're training at what? Murcielago MMA now? Like, who's there?
Oh, that rings a bell, doesn't it? Okay.
Yep, sure does. Sure does. Sure does.
Who's there? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, and I believe in cross training as well. We've done it with all our fighters as far as stuff like that, as far as evolving stuff like that. They'll go to different places and tap in, like you said.
I look at it like this. Okay. You don't want to end up like Kevin Lee.
Yep. Man. Oof.
All the talent potential in the world, you just not training with the right people because iron sharpens iron, and you fighting against butter every single day in your gym.
He called him
Well,
butter.
he's training with the right people now. Now he is.
Yeah, now he is. But it's like, and this is no shade to where, Joaquin Buckley is training out of. Like, I don't really know the motherfuckers like that. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you're the best dude in your gym.
Yep.
And every single person that fights where you're from is all right until they get destroyed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give an example. Who comes out of Murcielago? Chaos Williams. Identical looking format. Identical looking format.
Yo.
And it's kind of like, Chaos Williams is awesome, but bro, your brute strength and is only going to get you so far because you're getting to the technical stages moving up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Similar build, just like that. Dang. Wow.
That's crazy.
Similar.
I didn't even know that.
I didn't. Learn something new today. So, okay. Well, that's true. That's true. So, with that being said, we actually touched on a lot. Is there anything else that we're missing that we're addressing, or that may not happen? Besides, I think Dan Hooker is going to give Chandler like some burn, like
Chandler's gonna punish him.
Oh, I mean, you better get the cash out ready. Oh, okay. All right.
If Michael Chandler comes out and turns this into a grappling match,
he gonna suplex him into an armbar.
Yeah, then I can see some domination happen, but it's not gonna be easy to get close to Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is not even the fights that he lost.
Look, I just hope that Chandler does not go in there thinking that he can throw hands. Yeah. Oh my Lord!
Yeah.
Please don't do that. Do not do that. We don't want to
try Jesus.
Honestly, try him first before you try those hands.
Right.
I got Michael Chandler on this one.
Michael Chandler. All right, so
I told you, son. I told you.
Out. Okay, that's cool. I'm I went out so far.
All right, like I said, Dan Hooker's gonna win the fight. So yeah.
Wait, what? Oh, so I see what you're trying to do.
Dan Hooker.
I see what you're trying to do there. All right.
No, for real. All right, I got Michael Chandler though.
You got Michael Chandler. I mean, either way,
I'm not placing any bet. I just said Chandler.
That's fair. I mean, I can see both. I can see it going either way, and I agree with Chad. If he made it, that would be.
Now, am I like, Michael Chandler's gonna just run through Hooker?
No, that's not going. We know that's not going to happen.
As a matter of fact, I don't even know if I want to make a pick here because I've never been super impressed with Chandler's resume.
Me either. So I like Chandler. I like the intangibles. I like how he does. I like his style and I like how he approaches things. But you're right. When it comes down to like looking at what's his history, yeah. Exactly what it is. So it's like, this is the first time. Let's see if he elevates his game with an elevated opponent. I think Dan Hooker was a perfect place. I've been calling for that for ages. And yeah, you're right. No definitive picks right now, I guess, but I am leaning towards Hooker. Would definitely say that. More so leaning towards Hooker, without doubt. Okay.
Well, other than that, just gonna tell you all to follow me on Twitch at Dynamite without the A. So that's BLCK Dynamite. Twitch TV.
But Black Dynamite. That's a drug.
I play all sorts of games. So yeah, stay tuned.
I play all sorts of games.
I don't know how I feel about that. Well, you know what? I'll put the tag in the description. Y'all can see, and we'll go from there. Chad, got any
They have
announcements or anything like
Connor.
that?
I didn't know they had Connor listed as. Why is he listed at number 15
And what?
For
Okay.
featherweight or
for lightweight?
Last time it was he was 5 last time.
Or yeah, 5 or 4.
Yeah,
And I think
He was underneath Hooker, wasn't he, or was he above Hooker?
he was above Hooker. I thought he was above Hooker. I thought he was like one spot above Hooker.
yeah, he's like one spot above Hooker, but they have him as like number 15. That's
Are
fishy.
you on
Yeah,
UFC?
it's fishy.
I'm on UFC.
Let me check. Hold on.
Yeah, that's all right. Go ahead. You'll be the second one. I'll just.
Oh, because they still have him listed at 145 instead of 155.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I was about to say
Alright.
that don't even sound
I'm about
right.
to say that sounds like retarded. What's going on with that?
Oh, another indictment on Khabib.
Uh-oh. Let him go. Let him go.
Unless you are John Jones, which John Jones is just a force to be reckoned with, you know. Or, you know, even Israel Adesanya and Kamaru are in this kind of category, but they'll get there eventually. Nobody leaves this thing unscathed. Nobody. That fool Conor McGregor is 22-4. Dustin Poirier is 26-6. All of these guys that we consider greats, even GSP.
GSP never lost a fight.
GSP never lost a fight?
Nope.
Yeah, all right. Like I said, nobody gets away from this sport unscathed. And I think just the fact that Khabib struts around with a 29-0 is just like, it's BS when you really start looking at guys. And you look at like, all right, who have you fought up to this point?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what? Like, you have what? Like, he has, in my eyes, he has 8 wins and only like 3 or 4 legit wins. So it's like, that's a small resume to me. I could care less about anybody else or anything else or that stuff. I mean, so that's that.
We got some good women's fights on the card.
Well, for next week.
Yeah, Jessica Joanne Calderwood. That'll be a good fight.
That should be
6 and 7. Then you got strawweight Marina Rodriguez and Amanda Hebus.
Ooh.
And that is to put Amanda up into the
upper
let's.
I'm definitely gonna watch that Amanda fight.
Yeah, gotta watch that Amanda fight.
Cause y'all forget Amanda beat Mackenzie Dern.
She did.
Yeah.
Amanda beat Mackenzie Dern. Amanda's 10-1. Now Marina Rodriguez is 12-1.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That is.
Yes.
I think this year I'm more excited for women's than I am kind of the men's leading up to this. Cause
Doesn't Khabib have like a cousin or something like that in UFC with him?
I don't. They're all related, bro.
Yeah, bro. At this point.
Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, at
they
this
got
point.
so many people.
Too many people. Okay. Well, yeah. So y'all heard from Chad himself that we got some interesting fights on the card. That's coming up. I agree.
Yeah, I think if Amanda Hebus gets through Marina Rodriguez, I think she'll run the table till Joanna.
Yeah, that may be it though. Yeah, Joanna's gonna be that one. That's gonna be the test. Like, interesting.
Yeah, but there's somebody who's very scary that we saw fight not too long ago, right behind Amanda Hebus, and that's Tisha Torres. Because Tisha Torres came back and made. Granted, it was old girl's first fight in the UFC. She took it on like 6 days notice, but you know, Tisha Torres looked like, hey, I'm world class right now. So,
like you said, this person came from
that division.
Yeah, I mean, she's probably the most interesting person. Well, not interesting person, but I don't know. It's like Chad said, it's hard to gauge because this person's 6 day and come from a different promotion. Like that's
the women's strawweight's kind of looking like
fun.
Yeah, it's
been looking that way for a while now.
Yeah.
My thing is this: why? If I was Valentina Shevchenko, Why not just go down? Why not go down and get the strawweight belt? Maybe Dana's like, nah, please don't do this.
Maybe Dana's in the back like, no, please, no.
Yeah, please don't do this. Please
Or
don't. Do
maybe it's because she's probably hoping that Amanda
will come down. That's not going to happen, though.
It's not. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
That's absolutely not going to happen. There's no way. I don't see it like in even. I can't see it.
What is crazy is that Amanda Nunes is in that featherweight women's bracket by herself. There's nobody else there.
Yeah, there's no one else.
But yeah, the women's fight should be good. This will definitely be a very good card. I don't know what's the undercard for this.
I did not take a look at the undercard.
Let's see.
Oh, we have Chiesa Magny coming up.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, that is on Wednesday.
That's that mid like week fight card I saw, and I was like, man, I don't know if I am gonna be able to catch that, but
Yeah, NeilMagny was basically talking about how he was gonna make Michael Chiesa stick to just doing commentating.
yeah. I like Michael too, but he be getting punished. He be getting punished in the conference, punished in the fights.
He only had 4 losses though. That's crazy.
They don't matter. Like, people are just attacking him. Oh man.
Look, if there's anything I learned about Michael Chiesa, you don't ever talk about his mother.
Yeah.
Just don't ever talk about his mother. That's it.
Yeah, all right.
Unless you're Kevin Lee.
Right. All right, so Wednesday, Chiesa Magny should be a good one.
It should be a good one too. I like that mid card. So yeah, that's pretty active. That's pretty lit. That's pretty lit. So we'll have a lot of like I guess next Sunday / Monday podcast we'll have a lot of we'll have a lot to talk about. We'll have a lot to unload. I can't imagine how this is about 57, about basically an hour, and how long that other one's gonna last. Man, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, definitely should be something. But that's all I got. We'll see.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't have anything. I kind of discussed when they were both with what they were talking about. So that's it for us. Y'all have a good one. Take it easy.